Hello there, everyone. Robert here. So, this question came up in the Creative X crew, Brad Hussey's Editor X community, and it's from Kavi. So, I was making this initially for Kavi, but I figure his question is very cool, it's very useful, and I feel this might be a use case a lot of other people want to see. So, I'm making this in regards to that. But just a little backstory then into what Kavi wants to do here. So, he's creating an events website for a client, I assume, and they're running events in person and online. So what he needs to do is create a collection where the client can add events, courses as they need, and everything styled properly. However, though, each event is slightly different. So all of them use a title, all of them have a description, but one might have a video, another one might have a gallery, another one may or may not use a pricing section. What he wants to be able to do then is have them add the content for the event, and then depending on what is and isn't visible or wasn't added, then the page is automatically just updated. So again, I wanted to make this for him. I shared with him initially on here because there's a way to do it using a little bit of code. And what you can kind of do, this example gives for hiding a video player when there is no video to play. You can actually use this though for a lot of other fields. So you can also do this for images, whole sections. There's a lot that you can do with it. And that's what I wanted to showcase here in this video, how you can go about if there's something that's not on your page and it's pulling from a data set, how to be able to hide it and not have it displayed, or vice versa. If you do have something selected, then how do you hide it? So yeah, let's just jump right into the Editor X platform. Give me just 1 minute. Perfect. So I'm here within the Editor X platform. Again, feel free to try it out. Editor X is free to use. So if you kind of want to test this out, see how you can do this a little bit easier in the builder. But what I added on here was the content manager. That's basically the CMS, the data sets that are used within Editor X to be able to add your information and then have the client update it. You can also access this in the dashboard if you don't want to have the editor open. And ideally, once you hand it off to the client, this would kind of be where they can go to update their information. What's cool, you can use the content manager on a static page, or what I have on here is a dynamic page. So I have my layout. It's just kind of thrown together a little bit, but I have here some text. I have here a button. I have here an image, a video. I have an entire blank section just for the sake of this tutorial. And this is pulling the information from this content manager that's back here. So the names, the long descriptions, the websites, all of this information is being populated. And if you notice, I have on here some blank fields. So I have a document field that's blank, a video field, some images are blank. I have a image gallery field. I have a Boolean field, so a checkbox. And I also have here an email. These are the ones that I kind of updated and customized for the sake of this tutorial. So the main things that we kind of want to focus on then are, and you can kind of see it here on the code. So in this block of code, and it explains everything, what you need to do, but I'm usually a little more visual. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are a little more visual. But the main things that you just need to customize are the ID of the dataset, the actual field key of the item in the dataset, and the element that needs to be either hidden or collapsed. So just to highlight that here, so within the content manager, when you are adding a field or if you're editing it, when you are creating it, you can choose what kind of field is it? Is it text? Is it an image? Is it a gallery, a Boolean? There's quite a few here. I'm not gonna go through all of them. But when we come here, we can choose the field name. But the important thing for the code here is the field key. This is what needs to be updated in this block of code where it says in line 6 dot video. Again, you can use this to customize it for a photo, an image. You can use it for quite a few things. And now within the editor, what we need to do as the designers, as the developers making the page, with dev mode enabled, we'll be able to see the ID for all of the elements, including the dataset. The dataset here, for my website in particular, it's dynamic dataset. That's the one that's being changed here and here in these two lines, because this is then pulling, okay, well, what's the data set that we have on here? Then the important thing then is getting the IDs of the elements on the actual page. So here I have an image. This image here, let me see, let me just click on it. Once I click on the image itself, we can see the image has an ID. It's visible here. It's visible on the IDE as well here. And if you're not familiar with like the IDE, it's where the lines of code can be written, where the properties, the events, the default values can be selected for these elements. You can also check the IDs if clicking around is a little difficult, or again, if you're very visual. You can also see the IDs here for the elements. You can rename these, thankfully. So for my sake, I'm leaving them all default. But I definitely would highly recommend, if you have image, name it in the syntax, full image or video. Again, you can customize these IDs, but for my sake, I'm leaving them as is. So as for the code itself and the way it kind of just works out then, so because I have a few different elements on here, I have if exclamation mark item dot video. That's the field key for the video field. Then video box one collapses. Again, you can see here in the comments, it kind of is indicating what happens. Then you can actually just put multiple if statements. So I have if there's no item photo, like there's no item in photo, then image collapses. If there's no item in document, this button collapses. If there's no email, then this text box collapses. And I actually did something very interesting for this one, just so you can kind of see it doesn't have to be only if it's empty. I actually have the inverse. So I don't have an exclamation mark. An exclamation mark in JavaScript, from my understanding, is usually there is nothing, or like negative, like a negative value, basically. So I have here if item.boolean. So if there is a checkbox, what you want to do then is collapse a field. So you can actually do that too. So if you want to maybe hide a section, again, if you like the checkbox example that I have there of, yeah, hide the section, it's automatically going to collapse. So let's preview this. Let's see how it all looks. Again, I'll share the line of code, but I do kind of just want to explain what is connected to what elements are where. If any questions, feel free, ping me, but let's preview this so we can kind of take a look and see how it all works. Cool. So with the dynamic pages, the way it all kind of works out here, again, this pages all have the same layout. Technically, it's the same page, but it's just pulling different information from the CMS. So again, we can see here full name 4 has this white section. I don't have it checked off in the CMS. You can see here full name 4 doesn't have that checkbox, so it's visible. We can see I do have a document, so the button is visible. We can see I have a video, but I don't have an image. I don't have an email associated here, so that's not visible. And again, here I can see all of the pages that I have. So let's go to full name 1. Again, if we're seeing it here, it should have no document, so no button. It should have a video. It shouldn't have the image. It should be hiding the section, and the email should say full name 1. Let's see. All right, cool, perfect. And all right, cool. Yeah, so we can see it says full name 1 and the video. I'll do one last one just to kind of see. So let's try this one that does have the document, the button, and this one that has an image. So that's full name 3. And I like doing this. Sometimes it's just a little easier having in the dashboard the content manager open instead of having to open. You can't open it here, but I feel for the sake of this video, it's easier to just go back and forth between them in a new tab. All right, cool. This is taking a second to render, but, and again, this loads a lot faster on the live site. There's no editor pulling up this information, trying to load up all of the dynamic pages at the same time. But again, we can see here's a button linking to that document. We can see here is the image loading up. We see there's none of that white section. We see there's none of the email that's on here. We don't see any of the video. So again, not too difficult to be able to implement. You just kind of need that code. Again, it's here. I'll share mines as well if you guys want to see it. But if any further questions, definitely let me know. Be more than happy to check it out. Again, feel free to jump into editorx.com. Again, completely free to try if you want to check this out. But definitely, I think for Cavi, for his pain point of having just the client coming in, just being able to, I'm going to update the CMS. Cool. I have all of my pages set up exactly how I want. If something's not there, it's not visible. Again, pretty simple to do once you kind of have that know how of being able to do it. So, and if you guys have any questions about the actual content manager and the CMS pages, let me know. Maybe I can make another video about that. Again, that's how I get a lot of, well, basically all these videos. I just kind of see questions that are coming up in the communities, decide, hey, this person has this question, maybe other people have these questions. Let me make some content about that. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope this is useful, very helpful. Bye for now.